Hi, T.O.T. Carlson, and today we're continuing along with our Marvel Cinematic Universe Steelbook 4K unboxing. It's been a long and interesting ride with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Phase 3 being twice as long as the previous phases definitely stood as a high point in all the previous films. So, let's move forward. Starting off Phase 3, of course, quite possibly my favorite of all MCU movies. This is Captain America Civil War. The day the heroes got manipulated into fighting against each other by a villain who surprisingly had no superpowers of his own whatsoever. This shows just how vulnerable the Avengers team really is, and it's one of the most hard-hitting and relevant of all the MCU films. Here's our Blu-ray disc. Here is our 4K disc. Then the inside has a shot from the infamous Germany airport battle sequence in the film, quite possibly my favorite action scene in the entire MCU, and that's saying something. Now, apparently we're going to have Falcon and Winter Soldier teaming up for a TV show on Disney+, which is also going to bring back the villain character Zemo, so I'm looking forward to seeing that when it comes out. Next up, and this is a film that, even though it came out just a few months after Captain America Civil War, did something completely different. Doctor Strange. When I saw this the first time, I didn't quite know what I was watching. It felt like an odd mashup between Harry Potter and The Matrix. But again, I just loved it that much more for those very reasons. Pretty solid supporting cast, including the likes of Rachel McAdams as an estranged love interest, and Mads Mikkelsen, an always entertaining actor, as one of the villainous characters. As an interesting piece of trivia, Mads Mikkelsen is the only actor who appeared in the MCU, Star Wars, and James Bond, and died in all three films. But here's him casting a spell. Actually, I don't think that's him. I think that's the Ancient One there. Kind of hard to tell with the hood. And then came the sequel we absolutely knew we were getting, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies for their soundtracks that are largely comprised of old pop songs, and those soundtracks are excellent. I think this was the first MCU movie that was released in 4K for its initial release, which is what all the subsequent films have done as well. So this actually is a 3-disc set, so I'll show those off in just a second. Here's our heroes in the middle. Admittedly, I didn't like this film quite as well as the first one because it split up the team, and there were a few other little, plot idiosyncrasies I was not the biggest fan of, but here's our Blu-ray disc. Certainly not a bad film, though. This one actually even comes with a Blu-ray 3D disc. Remember back when that was a thing? And then there is our 4K disc. And apparently we're going to be seeing more of these old Guardians of the Galaxy characters in Thor, Love and Thunder when that comes out, if it comes out on account of this whole pandemic screwing up the entertainment business and pretty much every business there is. And then another personal favorite in the MCU, and one that was very longly awaited due to all the legal rights issues, SpiderMan Homecoming. Getting Spider-Man in the MCU, starting with Captain America Civil War, was definitely a good thing, so we get to see him do his solo film here. Michael Keaton plays the Vulture, the villain in the film, and he's a major highlight. And then Tom Holland, of course, plays Spider-Man, and he actually makes the character much more youthful and innocent and inexperienced than previous incarnations, and that's one of the reasons I really liked him so well in the film. Got a nice little web pattern in the background there. And then the supporting cast also includes the likes of Jacob Batalon and Zendaya, all of whom are very entertaining. Next up, a sequel that did something completely different fans weren't expecting but loved nonetheless. Thor Ragnarok. This movie was directed by Taika Waititi, who went on to do the comedy Jojo Rabbit, which was actually a pretty big film when it came out due to all of its positive reviews. And I was very happy to see that this movie, Thor Ragnarok, did not disappoint. It did something a little more comedic and, of course, brought back the Hulk, who we were sorely missing for a while there. I don't know if I'd call this my personal favorite Thor movie. It's maybe a little too lighthearted and comedic at times, but there's no denying it's a damn good movie. I've actually got a Thor Ragnarok poster hanging up in my living room downstairs. I think it's the only MCU poster I ever got in one of those Regal Crown Club promotions. And then the last film we're going to do in Phase 3, Part 1 is Black Panther. Of course, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He brought so much to this role, starting with his first appearance in Captain America Civil War. And this is one of my personal favorite movies in the MCU because it brings in a lot of social commentary and, of course, has a very diverse and interesting cast. Lots of interesting characters I'm sure we'll be revisiting in future films. With the passing of Mr. Boseman, I do wonder how we're going to go about Black Panther 2 when that becomes a thing. Are they going to recast the role, or are they going to pass along the mantle? Regardless of what happens, it seems like Marvel's usually the house that can do no wrong, so it's a movie I absolutely look forward to when the time comes. I have to ask, what is your favorite MCU movie? Do you have any of these Steelbooks? Did you get the 4K releases? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also remember to subscribe to this channel for more content and give my video a like if you found it helpful or interesting. I'm Taylor T. Carlson, and I'll see you in the fourth and final video.